It is clear that Alexis Rockman has a love of nature, but his artist's eye is drawn less to nature's beauty and more to its oddities.
Well, I think frogs are charming and magical and wonderful, and turtles, but I also am probably attracted to things that are unlovable.
The type of animals you might encounter in a natural history museum. Curator Joanna Marsh isn't surprised.
His mother worked at the American Museum of Natural History in New York for many years, so as a boy he spent many, many hours in that museum absorbing the displays, the wall murals.
That clearly can be seen in many of Rockman's early works, especially his monumental 1992 painting, Evolution, a fantasy landscape of imagined and real animals.
It was very accumulative. I started out as thinking of it as a chart. And it's generally how I organize information. It starts out as, a list of names or things that might happen, and then it's like decorating a Christmas tree, really.
A trip to Guyana in 1994 inspired works that were closer to scientific paintings of flora and fauna that he saw in the rainforest. But by the time he returned from that trip, his focus was on man's impact on nature.
I started to think about my feelings about the things I was painting and started to feel active and dynamic.
Sometimes he uses humor to make a point. Other times his approach is more subtle. But his message is bleak and clear in a work he started in 2000 and completed nearly 4 years later. The 7+ meter long mural titled Manifest Destiny.
Manifest Destiny depicts the Brooklyn waterfront about 300 years in the future, after global warming has decimated the port city of New York. It's one of the first paintings where he really focused specifically on the subject of climate change.
More followed, including a series of iconic American landscapes impacted by climate change. It was his treatment of that subject that led to the exhibition title, A Fable for Tomorrow, inspired by noted environmentalist Rachel Carson's groundbreaking book, Silent Spring.
She describes a mythical or mythic town where all life seems to live in harmony, and I'm quoting Carson. But over time, as the result of chemical pesticides, the town begins to show signs of, of death.
Life isn't going anywhere. It's where humans want to be, and that configuration is really up to humans.
Rockman says the older he gets, the more skeptical he is about whether humans will solve the problem before it is too late. But the exhibition at the Smithsonian American Art Museum gives him hope.
Because it shows that there's a level of consciousness and a willingness to put challenging work on the walls of a governmental institution. I think that's fantastic. So that makes me optimistic.
The exhibit covers 24 years of Rockman's career. At just 48 years old, he has many more years to challenge people with his art. I'm Susan Logue, VOA News, Washington.
Hmm?